Hi guys, today we're going to be taking a look at lesson 68 on algebraic addition, and I'd like you to hit pause and read pages 480 to 481 in your book. Now that you've done that, you'll notice that the book is talking about the idea that a negative sign can actually mean opposite, which makes sense because on a number line, the opposite of 3 on a number line is -3. So we read -3 would be read as the opposite of +3. And so in algebraic addition, we refer to numbers as terms if they have a symbol. And so our goal is to break apart the terms and rewrite with a plus sign in between them. And I like to say the word combined with because it helps me keep the idea straight. So here we go. So example 1, you'll notice that the problem was -5 combined with the opposite of -2. And you might be saying, well, where did the opposite come in? But remember our idea that subtraction sign can actually mean opposite. So this reads the opposite of -2. So when I read it, I actually read -5 plus the opposite of -2. Now, we think back to what the opposite of -2 is. And I would know that the opposite of -2 is +2. So then my problem reads -5 plus a +2 or 2. And my answer is -3. Okay, so notice that I do not keep transferring down. Once I do this combined with symbol that represents the breaking apart of the terms, I simply carry it down, but I don't keep adding in more plus signs and more plus signs. It'll get confusing. Okay, so let's look at example 2. So example 2, you'll notice that I broke apart the symbols. So I have the opposite of -3, -6, and then the opposite of +8. And so I broke them apart. And then where I did break them apart, I go ahead and add a plus symbol, or in my terms, I say combined with. So it's the opposite of -3 combined with a -6 combined with the opposite of +8. And so if we do the math, remember we don't keep adding more plus symbols and more plus symbols. I have a +3 and then -6. And over here, the opposite of +8 was -8. Okay, so then I just do order of operations. A +3 minus 6 is -3. And then I bring down the -8. And again, -3 combined with a -8. You guys know, same symbol, find the sum. We end up with -11. So on our final example, we have -1.4 minus a +1.3. So we divide the terms. So I find where the symbols are grouped and I divide them. And I find it's -1.4 combined with, I go ahead and add that positive symbol, the plus symbol, the opposite of 1.3, which I know the opposite on a number line of 1.3 will be -1.3. So I go ahead and I find 1.4 combined with a -1.3 is a -2.7. Notice that we're practicing the use of our grouping symbols. So I'm using those brackets and parentheses to group my symbols and my terms, okay? So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna do the practice set, okay? And then you're gonna send me a picture. You can also send me questions if you have any questions, and I'll get some feedback to you. This is gonna be our first time through, so I'll do my best. And then your written practice is 2 through 30 even, which is already in your notes, okay? So let me know if you have any questions. Bye.